Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ibrahim Azwan.
And I'm Muhammad Shahid bin Bahar Zaman.
My name is Muhammad Lutfi Hadi bin Ahmad bin Zomuddin.
And today we will be talking about technology plays a crucial role in the trainee teachers' lives. So without further ado, let's go. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how do you personally use technology in your teacher training? So what's your opinion, guys?
Personally, I use technology in my teacher training within the scope of searching for information. Let's say that I have a presentation that I need to do the next day about kids. So I will go up online, search websites, or maybe we can even ask AI nowadays with the help of AI to search for the information that we need. So I think that's how I use technology in my teacher training.
Well, for me, I think I utilize the technology by using our smart TV. Like we're going to do presentation and everything. We use technology, right? And besides, I think that we can use the technology to communicate with our lecturer. As student, we settle our timetable with the lecturer so that we can know which hour that the lecturer is free, so we can come to the class. That's it for my point.
Okay, so I think we can move on to the second question. Alright, so for the second question, I think this is easy for you guys. It sounds like, what digital tools or apps have been most helpful in your studies?
So, first, what is the most helpful digital tools or apps that helpful to me is, I think maybe Gemini, because it is AI powered tool, so we can just ask question and it give us answers. So Gemini is specifically for note, so I can use that notes for explanation and everything. Besides, I also use Google Classroom and Google Meet so that we can have class with our lecturer.
Okay, yeah. But aside from Gemini, I prefer to use ChatGPT instead because, well, it's the first big thing that we hear about. Like everybody was using ChatGPT during that time, so I'm still using it at this point because, well, usually ChatGPT really helps me in a lot of stuff like simplifying hard to understand topics, or maybe even trying, well, to get information about stuff that I need for my research. So whenever I need something or I don't understand something, I just go to ChatGPT and ask for help. That way I can make my life easier. Other than ChatGPT, I also use Canva because it really helps with my assignments and everything that is needed for me to, well, make a presentation in front of the class. Well, Canva is a really easy to use application compared to PowerPoint. Usually people before our time, older than us, use PowerPoint, right? But if you use PowerPoint, you need to understand all the things that you have. Well, you need to understand things much more complex rather than using Canva. Because in PowerPoint, when you want to animate, it may take you a day or two to understand on how to animate in PowerPoint. But if you use Canva, you can just go watch a YouTube video or something, and 10 or 20 minutes later, you will understand how to use it. So yeah, that's two of the digital tools that I use.
So the next question for our discussion is that I wanna ask you, have you faced any challenge while using technology for teaching or learning?
Yes, I could say that I have faced many challenges using technology. So first, let's say I'm going to a website to read about articles. So while I was reading, suddenly a pop-up appears. It says that I need to pay $5 to continue reading. But I think that article is actually very easy to obtain at any other website. So why does that website wants me to pay $5 for them? I think that's some one of the challenges lah. But there are times more like we don't have any exposure like to newest technological apps that can help us in our teacher training. Like there is a new AI. They say it's better than ChatGPT. It's called Tslb.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whale. It's a blue whale logo. They say it's better than ChatGPT because a $200 model of ChatGPT is as the same as the free version of Tslb. But I just knew this recently, which is very unfair. I think we don't get that much exposure.
Yeah.
But what about you, Imran?
Yeah, for me, well, I think some of the challenges that I face whenever I'm trying to use new technology is when I'm exposed to new technology, because we all know that technology is ever evolving, right? Like new things are coming out faster than we can comprehend them. So whenever I'm exposed to something new, like a lecturer told me to use a different app from what I'm used to, I may need to take some time to understand on how to use this new technology. And whenever well, you know, humans, we don't really like change because we like things to be constant. And whenever we're exposed to change, we feel a sense of discomfort, and therefore there will be some sort of, you know, hardship when you're trying to understand this new thing. So yeah, that's my challenge. So the next thing that we will be talking about today is how has technology improved your ability to plan lessons and manage classroom activities?
So for me, I think by using AI, it's really improved my lesson planning and classroom management. So with traditional method or what we call classic method, usually we need to think how to teach a student for tomorrow, and for tomorrow we already need to think about it this day. But somehow with the AI help, we can just an hour before the class we can already know what we need to teach, and the AI can generate our lesson planning for us, which really helpful for me.
Yeah, I agree with Shahid, especially before class where we can schedule our lesson plans. So if we ask AI to, I mean like not 100% do it for us, like giving us a rough draft about it, then we can use that draft to even improvise it in our own version, like in whatever that's suitable our class, especially because we are teaching the class, so we know how the students work, how the students think and everything like that, and then we can manage classroom activities, which is very engaging and fun for them.
Well, let me add a bit of it. Well, for classroom management, you see, nowadays children like technology. They will get bored with the traditional methods, right? They can't really what we say. They has short span of attention, focus attention, and everything, right? So with the use of technology in class, it can get the attention toward our teaching.
Yeah, as an example, where in the class we can make activities where students will have to stand up and sing together. So where do we get the song here? With our technology, with our gadgets. So it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't need the class to have a big TV, you know, like this. Like it's not, I mean it is important, but if that class doesn't have it, then you can use your own, which is very convenient. So the students will be very happy to enter your class because wow, that teacher is having this activity again. I like it.
It's true, it's true.
So let's move on to the next question, which is what are some major drawbacks of relying too much on technology in teacher training?
So, for the drawbacks of over-reliance on technology, I will say that it hinder the students' interpersonal abilities. You say when they are having too much time with technology, they don't really communicate with other people. Like even with their friends, they maybe use platforms such as WhatsApp and everything, but they can't communicate well when we're in face to face. So it's really hindered their interpersonal abilities. Besides, it's also affect their studies, where when we're in class, we need to have our group discussion, presentation, and everything. So when they don't have that interpersonal abilities, they can't really speak well. Maybe they're fluent in their own what we call first language, but for some other language, they may be not really fluent or not really can't communicate well with others. That's for my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. But in my opinion, another challenge that I can see is when we rely too much on AI, right? Is that we do not use our brain as much as we do anymore. So what I'm trying to say is, when everyone is using AI to think for them, who's going to be using their own brain to think? At one point, if hypothetically, if AI and technology, everything is gone, what are we gonna do? Because we're just conditioned we're just conditioned for this technology to help us in our thinking and our daily lives. But if it's all gone, how are we gonna, survive and do anything that we're doing right now? And if we teach our students using AI almost every day with our own input, how are they going to grow as a person, mentally and physically? Because if we just use AI in our daily lives, are we really living our lives? That's my point.
But I agree with that. When I go to school, sometimes with being facilitator and everything, right? When we're doing an activity that using cognitive or brain ability to think, they can't really think well because of over reliance on AI. They like without their phones, they can't think. They can't really make an idea or everything. That's why. So for the next question for our discussion is that, have you ever experienced technical issues that disrupt your learning or teaching, and how did you handle them?
Yes, I could say that I have experienced technical issues when I am trying to teach. As an example, in this exact classroom, when I want to give presentations to my classmates, that counts as teaching, right? The HDMI wire is problematic, so it doesn't give off the thing that was on my screen to the monitor. So how did I went over it? right? I give my presentation link to all of my classmates so that they can look at it in their own gadgets, phones, laptops, things like that. And then I can continue teaching. I can continue my presentation. But the technical issue, that's the one that I want to point out because it hinders our teaching, and yeah, it wastes so many time. It wasted so many time.
Yeah, I can add on that point too because this happened recently when you said that you shared your link for everyone to see, right? The thing is, when you share the link, the slides can still be edited.
Yeah.
And I saw with my own two eyes some people change some things inside of the slides. And when we are trying to read about the slide, it is literally quite distracting because we're trying to read the points, but things are moving around with the pictures changing and they're adding elephants or bulls or pigs. I don't know what happened, but it is very distracting when you're trying to read about the slides that these people have worked hard on. Oh my goodness. But for my point, I think whenever I'm trying to present, sometimes when I'm trying to present, the slides just disappeared, and I have nothing to present it now because my backup is gone. I didn't make any backup. I don't have anything in my phone. I don't have anything in my laptop. It's just gone, reduced to atoms. It was a very bad experience. Our next question is, do you feel that technology sometimes distracts more than it helps?
It truly is. Sometimes, well, if you use it the right way, it's really helpful, but somehow not every student use it in the right way. Sometimes they all just use social media, while in the 21st centuries, our students can already bring their phones to class so that it can help their studies. But somehow the student use that phone and technology to play social media, to surf and search everything on the social media, right? And for like as a distraction, for example, right? In WhatsApp. So when we're teaching and everything, but somehow the students are talking at back, but we can't hear it. We can see it. They're distracted, but we can't really point out what they are doing because they're just playing with their phone, right? So when the chat came in, the message came in, it's going to notification, going to pop up, right? So it's really being a distraction for the student. How about your opinion?
So what is said, I think that is more to in the classroom type of environment. So I'm about to say the opposite of it, the outside of the classroom type of environment. So I think it distracts more than it helps because nowadays technology, like Imran has said, it grows faster than we could comprehend, right? So with that comes in things like games, social media, new apps, right? Especially games. Games nowadays, I would say it is very fun because I can play games too sometimes. So let's say that students at home, they play lots of games. Lots of games, and for a long time too. It will hinder their ability to study because they would only fill their times with games, and then they will not do any homework. They will not do anything that I gave them. Like you go back home and then research about plants. No, they decide to play games.
It's true.
So I think technology sometimes does distract more than it helps. That's my point.
Well, I would like to add a bit. Well, for back in the days, right, when we're just playing with our friends without technology, it's really fun. But the fun is temptation. When we're using technology, we can't really control our student or children, right? Like we already see them in their room, like they're maybe sleeping. We think they're sleeping, but they can also play games without our knowledge, and that's really distract them. Then when they did that, maybe it's going to affect their sleep hours, and that will directly affect their studies, right?
They become late to school because they sleep late playing games. Yeah, which is very bad. Very bad. So let's move on. The next question, which is, do you think teacher trainees today are more prepared, more prepared than in the past because of technology?
I think we as the teachers training are really better prepared than
Those in the past.
yeah, those in the past, because we have technology, right? So with technology, we also have the help of AI, and we can use that to plan our lesson plan for our class management and everything. So when we're going to class, unlike in the past, we just come and teach without really knowing what we gonna do in the class. And with the help of lesson plan, we can know that what we're going to do in the next minute. So we can assess the student, we can plan the activity for each hour in our classroom.
That's a good point, Shahid. But I think, in my most humblest opinion, teachers, well, you can say preparedness is a thing of experience, because we know what they say, experience is the best teacher. Because anyone can be a teacher nowadays, but to be a good teacher, you need to have experience. So let's just say that there's teacher A and teacher B. So teacher A has been teaching for 20 years, and teacher teacher A has been teaching for 20 years, but he's not very technology, what do you say? Technology smart. He's not smart technology. And teacher B, he's a new teacher trainee, but he's really good with technology, right? So hypothetically, if you say, is it true that teacher A isn't better than teacher B because he's not using technology as good as teacher B? Because if you think about it, I think that teacher A is much more prepared because, well, he's been teaching for 20 years, right? But for teacher B, I also think that with the help of technology, he can make his preparedness much more faster, because, well, you're exposed to technology, you can understand people better because you can communicate them in a much more larger scale, or you could even understand what you can do to help your children in the classroom. But all in all, I think that preparedness is a matter of experience, because we can only understand a thing when we have truly experienced it. So yeah.
So we're going to the last question before the conclusion. So I would like to ask, what ethical concern do you think arise from the use of technology in education?
Right. So this is a pretty common, pretty common concerns amongst teacher trainees, and not just teacher trainees. I mean every trainees, which they did their assignment with 100% usage of AI. As an example, you use ChatGPT to do your assignment. Like ChatGPT, can you do 1,000 words assignment for me? That's only an example I never did that before. But I think even though it is a common problem, it is a very, very serious one too. Because imagine if the person wants to be a doctor, right? So he's training to be a doctor, but in his assignments he used ChatGPT, which is like I said, 100% written assignment from ChatGPT. I mean, like, would you like that person to be a doctor?
No.
You are having a heart attack. You need surgery as fast as you can. But then that doctor came in. Oh, I use ChatGPT for my assignment 100%, and then I passed the bar. So it lowers the quality of the job, the person itself. Because how can you not use your God-given brain to do the assignment, which is, I think, very easy. Not very easy. I mean, it's not easy and it's not hard, but you can manage it. That's why we have other things like we have a method called researching. You research in website articles, and then you just take the references. It's that easy actually. But I mean, that's one of the ethical concerns.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get operated on by someone who don't know what they're doing. Well, for my point, I think that technology nowadays makes people extremely rude, because with the use of technology, specifically social media or anything like that, it will encourage people to be much more unkind and cruel to others, because there's a sense of anonymity, which is that the person behind the screen is unknown, and they think that their action have no consequences, because they do not the others do not know their identity. So, for example, imagine you're having a Google Meet, and then you're teaching your students, talking about photosynthesis, talking about English, and then all of a sudden, without any notice, there's a photo bomber coming in, or a stranger just Google Meet just comes in and distract you, because, well, like I said, there's a sense of anonymity, and then they think that they won't be punished for it. And then your class becomes interrupted, and you don't know what's going on anymore, because, well, you know, the flow is just gone. And that's all my points.
We conclude our discussion today with, I think that technology does play a crucial role in our life, especially training teachers. Me personally, as a training teacher, technology does help me a lot in my line of training, like doing presentations about lesson plans, kids' behaviors. I mean, like, you all could agree with that, right?
I agree with that.
So that's all from us, the Three Stooges. We will see you next time, inshallah. Assalamualaikum. Bye bye.